They say all good things come to those who wait, but sometimes they're just plain wrong. Just think of all the times you patiently waited for something only to be disappointed in the end. Like that time you waited an eternity for your food at a restaurant only to find it was cold. Or maybe you spent months saving up for a special occasion only to have it rained out. Waiting can be tough, especially when it feels like you're waiting forever. But today we're going to remind you that the wait is always worth it, because we've got a mystery for you that will keep you on the edge of your seat until the very end. So grab a snack, settle in, and get ready to uncover the truth behind the cold case that was finally solved after 40 years. It's a gripping tale of love, loss, and the relentless pursuit of justice. And trust us, you won't want to miss a single detail. As we delve into this unsolved mystery, we'll take you through every twist and turn, every lead, and every dead end. You'll feel like you're right there in the investigation alongside the detectives as they piece together the clues and search for answers. So if you're a fan of mysteries, true crime, or just a good story, then this video is for you. We'll keep you guessing until the very end, so make sure to watch till then to find out what happened. In the heart of the United States, a young couple named Jenny and Jerry were celebrating their engagement. Their friends and family had gathered to shower them with love and support as they embarked on this new chapter in their lives. But as the party wound down and the guests began to leave, a sense of unease settled over the happy couple. They knew that something was off, but they couldn't quite put their fingers on it. As the night wore on, the feeling of dread intensified, pushing them to take a final walk around the neighborhood before retiring for the evening. Little did they know that this seemingly routine stroll would plunge them into a nightmare they never could have imagined. As they walked, hand in hand, they discussed their dreams for the future, their excitement for their upcoming wedding, and their shared joy at being surrounded by so much love. But as they turned onto a quiet street, their idyllic world was shattered. In front of them stood a house that looked like a mausoleum, dark, foreboding, and unsettling. Something about it seemed to send a chill down their spines, and they couldn't help but feel a sense of foreboding wash over them. Despite their unease, curiosity got the better of them, and they couldn't resist the urge to investigate further. As they approached the house, they noticed a faint light coming from one of the windows. It was a small, flickering glow that seemed almost otherworldly in the darkness of the night. Hesitantly, they knocked on the door, and in the eerie silence that followed, they heard a noise that made their blood run cold. When they heard the noise, they immediately regretted their decision to come here. It was a sound that seemed to come from another world, a cacophony of screams and shouts that sent shivers down their spines. Terrified, they turned and ran, not stopping until they reached the safety of their own home. Once inside, they locked the doors and windows, pulling the curtains shut to block out the unsettling sight of the strange house next door. But no matter how many locks they used or how heavy the curtains were, they couldn't shake the feeling that something sinister lurked in the darkness beyond their window. The next morning, the couple decided to confront their fear and see what was really going on at the house next door. Armed with the bright idea that daytime would bring clarity and courage, they cautiously approached the house. But as they got closer, they noticed something that made their hearts sink. The front door was slightly ajar, and as they peered inside, they saw signs of a struggle: overturned furniture, broken glass, and blood staining the floorboards. Fearful but determined to help, they called out, hoping for a response, but only silence answered them. With trembling hands, they pushed open the door and stepped inside, their eyes scanning the room for any sign of life. They found none. The house was eerily empty, as if its inhabitants had vanished into thin air. But as they continued their search, they uncovered something that sent shockwaves through their bodies. In one of the bedrooms, they found a diary filled with disturbing details of a life lived. The entries told a tale of a woman named Mary and her daughter Sarah, who had been trapped in the house by a mysterious captor. The diary spoke of a man who had invaded their lives, bringing with him darkness and despair. And as Jenny and Jerry read through the chilling entries, they realized that the house was not just a place of captivity, but also a tomb. For somehow, in the grip of this terrifying tale, they stumbled upon a hidden room, a secret chamber that had been concealed from view for decades. Inside, they found two skeletons, their bones lying in a way that told a story of unimaginable horror. The sight was both shocking and heartbreaking, and Jenny and Jerry knew that they had stumbled upon something truly sinister. With the discovery of the skeletons, Jenny and Jerry had unearthed a mystery that had lain dormant for far too long. They knew that they had to do everything in their power to bring Mary and Sarah's story to light, even if it meant facing their darkest fears. Determined to honor the memory of these two women, Jenny and Jerry reached out to the authorities, sharing their horrifying discovery with the local police. The news of the skeletons sent shockwaves through the community, and soon the house became a crime scene. As the investigation began, the full weight of the case pressed down on Jenny and Jerry. They had opened a Pandora's box of pain and suffering, and now it was up to them to help bring justice to those who had been denied it for so long. With heavy hearts, they watched as forensic teams descended upon the property, uncovering more evidence of the unimaginable horrors that had occurred within its walls. Every step of the way, Jenny and Jerry faced skepticism from the police, who believed that the case was likely a cold one, lacking the resources and manpower to conduct a thorough investigation. But their determination did not waver. They knew that Mary and Sarah deserved better, and they refused to let their memory fade into oblivion. As the days turned into weeks, the investigation hit a wall. Leads ran cold and theories fell apart, leaving Jenny and Jerry feeling helpless. They had hoped for justice for Mary and Sarah, but it seemed like their dreams would go unanswered. But Jenny and Jerry refused to give up. They pored over every detail of the case, searching for a glimmer of hope that the police had missed. They scoured through old newspaper clippings, piecing together a timeline of events leading up to the day Mary and Sarah had vanished. They reached out to anyone who had known the women, hoping to find someone who might hold the key to solving the mystery. And then, just when all hope seemed lost, Jenny stumbled upon a breakthrough with new information, claiming to have seen a man resembling the diary's description of their captor in the area around the time of the disappearances. With renewed hope, Jenny and Jerry presented this new evidence to the police, urging them to reopen the case. Their persistence paid off when the police, recognizing the validity of the new evidence, agreed to launch a new investigation. A team of dedicated detectives was assembled, eager to solve the decades-old mystery once and for all. They worked tirelessly, following every lead and pursuing every theory, determined to bring closure to this haunting case. The investigation took an unexpected turn when one of the detectives, a young and ambitious officer named David, discovered a connection between the case and a series of similar crimes that had baffled authorities in the past. As he dug deeper into the records, he found eerie similarities between the modus operandi of these crimes, suggesting the possibility that a serial killer was at work. With this new development, the stakes were raised and the pressure mounted on the team to find a definitive answer. The thought that a killer was still out there, preying on innocent women, sent chills down their spines. But they knew that they had to push forward, driven by the need for justice and closure. As the investigation continued, David's sharp eye caught an important detail that others had overlooked. He noticed that the type of paint used on the hidden door of the secret room matched the color and consistency of paint used in the commission of other crimes. This breakthrough linked the house on the quiet street directly to the serial killer's other crimes, providing a solid link in the chain of evidence. With this new information, the team felt the weight of the moment as they closed in on the killer's lair. They knew that they were on the verge of uncovering the truth, but also that danger lurked around every corner. The possibility that the killer was still alive and watching them sent adrenaline surging through their veins. With caution, the team searched the property, uncovering more evidence that tied the house to the serial killer's crimes. They found personal belongings that had been taken from his victims, linking him directly to the house on that fateful day. As they pieced together the evidence, a clear picture emerged, revealing the dark secret that had been hidden for so long. The house on the quiet street was more than just a residence. It was a symbol of fear and despair. The walls bore silent witness to the heinous acts committed within, serving as a reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unsuspecting places. As the investigation reached its climax, the team faced a race against time to capture the elusive serial killer. Every lead they pursued brought them closer to his whereabouts, but also increased the urgency of their mission. They knew that they had to act quickly to prevent any further harm. Through meticulous detective work and a stroke of luck, the team finally caught up to the serial killer, bringing an end to his reign of terror. As they closed in on him, a dramatic confrontation ensued, a tense standoff that had the potential to change everything. The suspense was palpable as the killer's true identity was revealed, exposing the depths of his depravity and deceit. In a shocking twist, it was discovered that the quiet neighbor they had overlooked was the one orchestrating the crimes all along. His seemingly harmless facade had concealed a sinister reality, making him the perfect predator. In the aftermath of the arrest, the community was left reeling from the revelation of the killer's identity. The sense of betrayal was profound, knowing that someone they had trusted had been involved in such horrific crimes. The once quiet street became a symbol of fear and suspicion, as whispers of the killer's deeds echoed through the neighborhood. The capture of the neighbor brought a sense of relief and closure to the community. The constant fear and uncertainty that had loomed over them finally began to dissipate, replaced by a cautious optimism. But the scars left by the killer's actions ran deep, serving as a reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of everyday life. In the courtroom drama that followed, the killer's facade crumbled, revealing the monster that lay beneath. The evidence against him was overwhelming, leaving no room for doubt or sympathy. As the trial commenced, the community came together to support the victims and their families, united in their pursuit of justice. During the trial, harrowing details of the crimes emerged, painting a grim picture of the killer's brutality and manipulation. The victims' families bravely shared their stories, their voices echoing the pain and suffering inflicted by the killer's actions. As the prosecution built their case, the killer's defense attorney tried to sow doubt, attempting to portray him as a misunderstood individual driven to desperation. But the killer's lies and manipulations were no match for the compelling evidence presented by the prosecution. As the trial reached its dramatic conclusion, the jury delivered a guilty verdict, bringing a sense of justice to those who had fought for closure. In the final moments of the trial, the judge's words carried the weight of retribution and societal condemnation. As he handed down the sentence, the courtroom erupted in gasps and murmurs, reflecting the community's outrage and desire for justice. The killer's fate sealed, the court proceedings came to a close, leaving behind a legacy of tragedy and resilience. In the aftermath of the trial, the community grappled with the lasting impact of the killer's crimes. The scars of trauma ran deep, leaving many searching for ways to heal and move forward. Support groups and counseling services emerged as vital resources, offering solace and guidance to those who had been affected by the ordeal. As time passed, the community began to heal and rebuild. Memorials were erected in honor of the victims, serving as a testament to their memory and strength. The neighborhood where the killer had struck became a symbol of resilience, a place where residents came together to support one another and create a safer environment. The story serves as a reminder of the importance of community, the strength that can be found in unity, and the unwavering pursuit of justice in the face of unimaginable adversity.